of our beautiful, wonderful, loving Michigan listeners.
Oh,
I'm wearing a hat with the real U of M stamped on the top of it.
I'm not sure it's not upside down. Is that Washington? Because I think Washington is
no. It's the real
much more
U of M.
popular right now.
It's the not doing so well U of M, but it is the real U of M.
If you turned it over and it would say W, like, I don't know, let's say Wisconsin, that was actually the team that beat Minnesota in the last game of the season.
One of many. But hey, you know,
well,
who's really counting?
Probably not anybody from Minnesota.
No, probably
hey, everybody
not.
From Minnesota. Sorry.
Yeah, very few people from Minnesota listen to this podcast, strangely enough.
Well, but
after I talk about it all the time.
That may be why. Oh, shit. Herb, it's another Minnesota podcast.
You know, strangely enough, I do have some people that were Minnesotans that listen to the podcast, but they all moved to Wisconsin. Go figure.
I wonder why that would be.
Cheap land.
Nicer place.
Less taxes.
Better football team.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Not a better hockey team, though.
Well, they don't. Historically? Yeah, let's look at the data.
There. Let's not go there.
I will say that, I don't care about
history.
Of course not. I remember this from years ago, though. Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota were always at the tops of the college ranks.
They're really at the top of a lot of school ranks, whether it's sports or education in general.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's true. All three very good.
I would even I'll even lump Michigan into that. Michigan was always up there.
Michigan's getting a lot of lumping these days.
Yes, they are.
The last few days in particular, because they are now number one in the nation in college football.
Yes, they are.
Congratulations to our Michiganders.
That's right. So,
and you know what? I was talking to a guy today who is in Florida. No one's from Florida, so
of course,
talking to a friend today, Larry, and he is an Ohio State fan.
Okay,
and he said, and Michigan spanked them a couple of weeks ago, and they were at the time the number 2 team, Ohio State, in the nation, and Michigan was number 3, as I recall, or maybe even higher. I don't remember. Anyway. And they beat them. Michigan won. And they ended up at number 2. And Ohio State, I think, dropped to 9 or something like that.
Ouch.
Yeah. And maybe Michigan was higher. They may have been in that range. Anyway, long story. We're chatting about it. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm not really happy who's representing our Big Ten conference. And I said,
Big 20?
yeah. The Big 20 with that many teams now. It's so ridiculous. Why did they even try?
I don't know.
Let's just say the big conference.
Small rabbit hole, maybe even, a
please.
baby rabbit is USC, where I have my grad degree from.
Yep.
Was always in the what was it, Pac-10.
Yeah.
And now they are in the Big Ten. I never thought I would see the day that was.
They're in the Big Ten? No, they're not.
Not yet. They will be next year.
Seriously?
Yeah, because the Pac-10 is going away.
The big conference, seriously, because it's not even. I mean, it's kind of silly, but whatever. I digress. The one thing that was funny though is he's complaining about Michigan being our team. They're number 1 in the nation. I said, yeah, I seem to remember Ohio State going to the championship and getting spanked, and he goes,
yeah.
Okay, well, let's move along. More than 1 year. And I was behind, obviously, if you're a Big Ten fan, being from Wisconsin, I kind of am, and you from Minnesota on whatever level. And they have not had the SEC has just owned them for quite a long time. So I'm hopeful that there'll be some good games. So the 4 teams. The four teams in the playoffs now, or the championship round, are Michigan, Washington, Washington State, which is interesting.
Washington.
Oh gosh, that's another Midwest thing. I love that. Alabama, after beating Georgia, which was a really good game or an enjoyable game to watch, unless you're a Bulldog fan, and Texas.
Okay.
And so the odd part though is, the Florida State Seminoles were the only, aside from Michigan, the only undefeated team. No, excuse me, Washington too.
Okay.
And they did not make the play. That Final Four, if you will. So I find it interesting. Their athletic director is just barking at everybody
I
in
bet.
college football right now.
I bet.
We deserve it. And even though their number one quarterback is out, and I think they're on their like third string quarterback. But so anyway, it'll be interesting, but nobody's 100% happy. It seems like anytime
of course not. You're never going to get everyone who's 100% happy.
Exactly. Anyway, so it should be fun getting into I've enjoyed college football. We had not watched for a while because, and you and I talked about this, Nick, that I just got so tired of paying for all of these different subscriptions for television and, Netflix and Prime. And so we still have Prime.
Sure.
But one day the Badgers were playing somebody. I think it was before the Minnesota game. And I'm like, So I jumped on YouTube TV again.
Oh, really?
And it hasn't gotten any cheaper, but I will say that the quality is good. And so here we are spending an extra 70 some bucks a month.
Oh, jeez.
Holy cats. It's just, it's crazy. Remember how much we used to pay for long distance on our phones?
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy. We were $100+ a month. We're like, oh, what the hell? And now, well, long distance is free. You're so lucky with your cell phones until you look at paying $120 a month for internet access, and then you've got all the
streaming services.
My goodness.
I'm not huge I love football. Don't get me wrong. I never can get into it. If I'm going to watch a sport, it's going to be hockey. Golf is going to be next.
You've always been a hockey guy.
I always have been a hockey guy, and I still don't watch that much of it. And this year I was going to make a concerted effort to watch the Preds play more often. Home team, why not? Yep. And every single time they're on, it's blacked out on my streaming services.
Sucks.
So I haven't really watched even any hockey this year.
That sucks. Yeah, golf, I'm with you, and we're looking forward to more of the mainstream golf season as time goes on. Because Lisa started watching golf because it made it easier for her to nap on Saturdays and Sundays. Love her.
I don't blame her.
Oh my gosh, it's funny, and she's not wrong. But we've kind of gotten into enjoying watching it, and so I'm hoping we'll get to see some more golf now too. And
nice.
Those are the
you're
multiple
in the state
benefits.
for it.
Well, for sure. Unlike you, I don't play as much as I'd like to. I know you don't either.
No, I don't. I got to play once this year so far.
Yeah,
that's it.
But you're more of a player. If you live down here, you and I would play probably once a week. We would make it happen because of that. But I don't have anybody to play with really.
We'll be independently. Well, that's what happens here too. I mean, I do have someone to play with, but we still live on opposite sides of the city, so it's a little bit more difficult. And then schedule wise is never for me.
That's always
I can get away for a couple hours, but I can't usually get away for 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on how busy it is. Because if it's really nice weather, it's going to be super busy.
That's true.
The round is going to take 6 hours. I just can't. I can't
either. And you know what? And even when things are good, I got all afternoon. I don't want to spend all afternoon on the course.
Oh, I do, but
I'm talking about not in the bar. I'm talking about at playing.
Yeah.
Because really, it can be 5 or 6 hours, and that's just stupid long.
The biggest difference too is my family doesn't play. So and I spend so much time away from my family that when I am home, and this is an argument that we have in our house, is when I'm home, even if I'm just doing nothing but sitting and watching TV, I want to be with my family.
Of course,
I don't want to be out on the golf course. I love my friends, but I don't want to devote most of my life to my friends because I want to spend time that I don't get with my family. Now, it would be different if I was home all the time or home every night or, if I wasn't traveling so much and I got to see my family all the time, then maybe the weekend would be some time for me to have time to myself. But I have an abundance of time to myself because I travel so much for work.
No. Well, and you used to travel with your sticks in the trunk of the car.
I used to. Yep. Well, now I think I had mentioned that I have changed regions back to my original region. Yep. So I will probably be driving more. So in the summer, I probably will have my sticks in the trunk.
As you should. Again, you're somebody who enjoys playing golf, and I could take it or leave it, but it's really more about the camaraderie, getting out and playing with somebody for me than because I know I'm not going to do well. I can make it around and probably stay around 100 for 18, and I'm okay with that. I don't need to be, breaking 80 or anything, but There's little chance of that unless somehow there's a thunderstorm on number 12.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and it's the camaraderie part of it. I don't have that I don't have a good group of close friends that live here, which is really strange, I think. And I know it's the age because we've lived here for over 16 years now, and I have not set the same goes with camping. There's a lot of people that go out and they're in Jeep clubs and things like that, but they're not all of them, but there are a lot of people that have known people over time. I keep hitting this thing under my desk. I apologize. But there are people that have been part of these groups for a good time, and they've developed these things, and then they go out and they camp and they go off road and stuff like that. I don't have a group of friends like that. They're all back where I grew up.
And so here's our next rabbit trail, because I know you'll love this, and I think we touched on it. I saw, Jonas Marsenko is. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah. But he just had a baby.
And I just love it. So for our listeners and viewers, this is a guy who hangs with a group of guys who are primarily bush pilots.
Yep.
And they have these awesome little planes. They're not big. And there are others. I'm sure you can name them quicker than I can. But
Trent Palmer.
Trent's another guy that I like to watch his
because
channel.
Of Jonas.
Yeah, they've connected over the years, but they had like a fly-in. So you and I would go play golf someplace. These guys fly their planes in.
Yeah, fly them in to go camping.
Yes, go camping, and then sometimes bring their families with them, bring their kids or whatever. But they'll also they did the oh gosh, what's the acronym? Me not thinking of an acronym is not good, but it's the short takeoff.
Oh, stall.
Stall, thank you. Short takeoff and landing.
Yep.
And it's so much fun to watch that stuff. But that's one of the purposes of them getting together. Yep. The Draco guy was there.
Was he? Has he finished his airplane yet?
Yes. Well, for the 10th time, probably. Because
he crashed. He crashed it.
He did. That's exactly right. But yeah, I think it's back. And oh my gosh. And he won. But he's got.
Of course he did.
Well, because his engine is worth, tens of thousands of dollars, just his engine alone. Easily. And it's just it's so fun to watch these guys because they have such a good time with it. But as you said, whether it's camping or whether it's just that connection, that we're going to fly in, 180 miles away, and that's going to be a long drive. Oh hell no, we'll be there in 28 minutes.
Right.
It's just kind of fun to see that. But that connection is what's critical.
Yep.
But you really gotta. That's a serious one where you're investing, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of these guys just to even belong to that club.
Yes. Oh yeah. And it's amazing. And now I don't know what he does, but he does something where he makes a lot of money. So his brother does it too.
Their YouTube channels are certainly
that too.
Anything to sneeze at.
Unlike
There's
our YouTube channel.
Speaking of,
go ahead. I was going to say like and subscribe.
Please do it. Smash that. Smash
that like button.
Seriously, yeah, and that subscribe button too. We don't have a lot of following on YouTube yet, but that's okay. We didn't do it because we thought we were going to become, so famous on YouTube.
Oh no, we thought we would become famous, just not on YouTube.
Oh, exactly. It's like a pre-existing thing for us. We're already famous. I guess we can give this YouTube thing a try.
Speaking of, you'll really appreciate this. My boss, actually, because we were together this week in a meeting, and he got everyone in the meeting a coffee mug that he felt portrayed their personality or kind of.
Boy.
Yeah. His was great. It was a whole bunch of pictures of a dumpster on fire. And on the inside lip, it said, "Everything's fine." And it really, really fits for him. Mine was, it's got a picture of a dill pickle on it with sunglasses. And it says,
I'm glad you said pickle. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
I'm kind of a big dill.
Wow. Yeah. That's really good. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like the dumpster fire too, though.
I do too.
That was Chris. Was that Chris?
Yep, that was Chris.
Yeah. Okay, of course. That's hilarious. Love it. Love it.
I should have had it up here, but it's in the dishwasher.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yes, that is apropos.
Yep. Oh, anyway.
That's cool. Well, so you're right. It's just getting back to the golf thing. It's something that I know you enjoy, and you and I have never played, have we?
Nope, we have not.
Did you go with us that time we went to what's the golf shit?
What's shit?
You know what I'm talking about. There's one in Nashville. It's the
Top Golf.
Top Golf. Thank you.
Yep.
Did you go with us that time? I was with Dennis, our friend Dennis, and and so this was just before I was diagnosed with my with multiple myeloma, and I took a couple swings, and my back was. I found out later why, but my back was like shot, and I could barely walk to the car after one swing.
Oh
yeah. What I found out was not only did I have a fracture in my spine, my ribs were disintegrating. And well, gosh, I guess that's why it hurt.
That could be.
But that was the only time I think we ever swung a club. I may have played with Dennis once or twice, but
maybe.
But that's about it.
He
plays a lot in Michigan.
He does play a lot. He plays a lot down here too, and that's,
I'm sure
that's my go-to person. So if I do play golf, I'm usually playing with Dennis.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I would like that because he would be a good guy to play with.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, actually went hiking with him the other day. It was fun. And
that's
normally
awesome.
When he takes me hiking, he's got he hikes 10 miles and he's got weights on his ankles and he's just chugging along.
Does he know that he has weights on his ankles?
Yeah, no, he does. He does it purposely. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Weird.
Yeah, this time, but this time he decided to take it easy on me because I haven't gone out much lately, we only did 5 miles this time, so that was good.
Was it mostly downhill? Because that's my type of hiking.
Unfortunately, it was not.
I prefer the downhill hiking.
Downhill hiking is good, or flat. Flat's good too.
Flat is not bad, but downhill's way better. Lisa and I went on a cruise many years ago.
Okay,
and it was an 8-day thing, and down in the I guess it's the Western Caribbean. Very nice. It was we're not big cruisers, but we did do this longer one. I won't go into all the details, but one of the excursions was in Barbados, and so the boat landed in Barbados, and
Barbados is very flat.
No, you might think so, but no, it's not. We got in a shuttle bus right off the boat, and it took us up to the top of the island, and it was,
which is a volcano. Yeah,
as you know, is not flat. Very funny. But we got on bicycles. They had bikes there for us.
Nice.
And we rode down the volcano, the mountain.
Nice.
Through the towns. And I'm not sure I pedaled once. It was all downhill. And we got to the bottom, and it was cool. I mean, it was a fun ride. We got to the bottom, and we returned the bikes and pulled over, and there's a guy by the shuttle bus and a couple dudes hanging out, and they go, "Hey, come on over here." And we had rum to finish the ride.
Nice.
The guy's feeding us local kind of bike rum. Ride. Oh my gosh. And it was delicious. Of course, sweet as we might as well be drinking Mrs. Butterworth's out of the bottle, which I love doing. But oh my gosh, it was really cool. Yeah, I do not think
Barbados is a cool
the
place.
Exercise we're getting. Not so much. No. Yeah, it was beautiful.
When we for our honeymoon, we went to St. Vincent in the Grenadines, and we had a layover. So the flight path was Nashville to Miami, Miami to Barbados, Barbados to St. Vincent.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we got on our little puddle jumper.
Cool.
So yeah, we didn't get to spend much time, but we got to spend a little bit of time on Barbados. Really cool place. And St. Vincent is the same thing, though. It's very rugged, very mountainous. And for most of you you have probably all seen St. Vincent, because that is where they did the bulk of the shooting of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
so we actually have pictures, because they left the set behind. We have pictures standing on the set on my Facebook page. You'll see them. But we've got even from Pirates 2, where they had the coffins. They had the coffins sitting there, so you can actually stand in the coffins. Yeah, it was pretty
neat. Closest I've gotten there is St. Vincent de Paul's, which is where we drop off some of our and buy some very nice things there. Vinny's. I have not been to San. So in the Grenadines, who owns that? Is that a U.S.?
No, it's they are their own country. I think they are still part of the Commonwealth, but very shortly before we actually went there, I think they separated from the government there. So
interesting.
Just like Australia, which they're still technically part of the Commonwealth, but they manage themselves, so they govern themselves. I think St. Vincent is the same thing. Because when we were there was a British warship that had pulled into port.
Oh,
so yeah,
good to know. That is well, and I was surprised. I guess in Barbados there were several celebrities from the U.S. that had properties there.
Yeah,
and and when we, just as one other aside, as when we were and I have to think if it was it the Bahamas or I can't recall. I want to say it was the Bahamas, and we landed there, and there were all sorts of things that were provided by the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Really? So this is some of our tax money going to work that we had
no idea. Yeah.
No idea was going on.
I think that's pretty much all of those islands have something that they get.
Yes.
No, I can't remember. I want to say, who owns Virgin Galactic or Virgin in general? Richard Branson. Richard Branson, yeah. I think he owns an island in the Grenadines.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
just one?
Well, it is just one, but I think because we were on the biggest island, which had the capital on it, but we weren't on the fanciest island. There are some islands that are...
He would have the fanciest island, I would think.
Yeah, I think so.
That's funny.
So, yeah. But, one thing that was really interesting, that warship had one of the princes on it. I don't remember which one. We didn't know that at the time. We didn't know that until after it had left. But yeah, he never disembarked. But yeah, there was one of the royals was on the warship while we were there, which was very interesting.
That is kind of cool.
Probably the closest I'll ever be to a royal. So that was fun. And
you say that now, but I think you've kind of always had a soft spot for King Charles.
No. But they could be listening to this podcast, and maybe someday one of the princes will come on the podcast.
It's entirely possible. I'm holding on for King Charles. If honestly, if the princes are there, that's fine. They can come along maybe, but I'm actually going to send an Uber to pick up Charles at the airport if he wants to come on.
Hey, why not? Why not? The security detail would love that.
Seems like the least we could do.
Right. And it's more expensive now to have an Uber pick someone up. Anyway, So what else is new, John? What else is new in your world?
I am shocked at all that's going on in the world, and it's it's your world too. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I'm off in my own world.
Did you see and listeners and viewers, it used to be back when we were younger, we would avoid talking politics or talking religion, and we've broken all of those. But I just wanted to get your sense.
There are rules to break.
We've done it. Did you see the debate between my Governor DeSantis and Governor Newsom from California?
Which is really funny because I really wanted to, and then completely forgot about it.
Well, I didn't either, so I'm not saying it like, oh, you should have seen. I for most of those things that are kind of spectacles, like that,
dog and pony, we
kind of. I would just rather let it happen and then hear
get the sound bites.
Yeah, get the sense of it from somebody I trust or somebody who, although those are becoming fewer and far between.
I saw a meme about that earlier. It was hilarious. Yeah. Oh, it was. I think I didn't send it to you. I think I sent it to Matt. While you're talking, go ahead and talk. I'm going to pull it up so I can tell you.
Thank
it's
goodness.
Really funny.
Yeah, please do. You have to. There have been some, you're right. There have been some really good memes, and it's awesome to have like you and Matt and other Matts, and Lisa especially is good about pulling out memes that I know I'm going to like. So, I like having good eyes out there because I'm not as social media focused as I used to be, and do not spend too much time.
All right. Here it
Any of
is,
those?
and it's just words.
Oh, okay.
Kind of scary when the weatherman is the closest one to telling the truth on the news these days.
And yes, what did we
Kind of,
say for years about the weatherman?
they're the only people paid to be wrong.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Kind of
Oh my
scary when the
gosh.
weatherman is the closest one to telling the truth on the news these days.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Because everybody seems to have an agenda.
Yep.
I'm just blown away by all of that. And
everyone does.
And anyway, but I guess.
So
go ahead.
I want to know, by the way,
Yep.
since you said that, because one person I have followed and I liked a lot up until recently, and she's, because it feels like there's some sort of agenda and I can't figure out what that agenda is Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you can identify what the what the reason they're saying or doing something is, or what their agenda is. I can't. I just don't know what her agenda is. Is she trying to get on the ticket?
What makes you think she has one? Just
because she goes back and forth on against different people and different things, and I mean, we know she left the Democratic Party, but she is going almost to the point where she's going so far right. I'm like, what's going on? I truly think it kind of feels like what she's saying and what she's trying to push back on and denounce and all this stuff. It almost sounds like she's positioning herself to be Donald Trump's running mate, in my opinion.
You know, I think, and I don't know that she. Yeah, I don't know if she would be at that position, but I'm not sure.
I don't think she would be. I just think that's what it almost feels like to me that she's trying to do that.
I think as things, I think back to when Trump was elected last time, how he just brutalized everybody in the party, everybody and you remember back when he was actually in the debates, he just hammered people but then at some point, especially as they dropped out, they seemed to, step back a little bit because, like you, I was thinking, well, there's going to be some of that retribution where, in a good way, where these people get cabinet positions or whatever. So I mean, there was talk of Ted Cruz, who he called, if you remember, Lion Ted.
Yeah,
Lion Ted was pretty close to being nominated as a Supreme Court justice,
right?
And I'm not commenting on that, other than, as you said, you kind of see this stuff and you go, okay, there's got to be a reason for some of it. And honestly, so let's take a step back and talk about that for a second, because I don't hear this talked about a lot. I've always been a DeSantis fan because I think through COVID, considering the age of our population in Florida, I thought he did a really good job. And you can agree or disagree with that. And I'm talking to all our listeners and viewers,
right?
But I think for the most part, he did a pretty good job. He was a governor that politically I could connect with. So that's fine. And you may have different feelings, and that's all fine. I'm not making a judgment about that. What I will say is I'm a little shocked. I'm a little surprised that he decided to run for president. And you can kind of see the turn it's taken, but I'm trying to figure out, like you, why? Why wouldn't he wait one more cycle?
Yeah.
And the best answer I've been able to come up with is money.
Yeah.
His donors said, you need to do it now.
Yeah.
We're not going to be with you next time around. Things are going to change too much. And and there's just so much of that in DC that
so many people they're trying. Yeah. I mean, that's with everything, that narrative that everyone is trying to control. And it's
power and money.
We're having money, man. On a much smaller scale. We're running into that here with Jen's business and who she's working with right now, where she's renting from. And I won't get into too many details, but this gentleman made a decision, and he asked us to pull up the floor. And with that decision, Jen had a lot of her customers, parents paying for their children to be part of the studio, having questions, and they were hearing rumors. And Jen sent a letter out to the families that explained everything. And in the letter, she said, this is what happened. This is what they told us. This is why they told us that. I find it very unprofessional, but that is what happened. Well, now this dude is upset because that letter went out and it's making him look bad. Like, no shit.
I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. You're the one who made it look bad just because it's now on paper or in an email. You don't like it. Ooh, big deal. You don't pay her salary.
Well, no kidding.
She pays you.
That's just it. There's no bearing on any of that. And so it's not like, as you said, he's not her boss. And you know what? He was making it difficult.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, and it's not like there's nothing in that letter. I wrote the letter, so I should know. There's nothing in the letter that was bad.
I would do that too.
Yeah. There's nothing in the letter that was bad. It was all truth. It was answering our customers' questions.
I would venture to say, I didn't see it, but I would venture to say professional as well, because that's how you roll.
You're right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I hope so. But yeah, I mean, we went back after he threw a fit and read it again, and we're like, there's nothing wrong in here. Nothing.
Sorry, dude.
We're not. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, but people they want to do certain things and they want to control the narrative. Yeah. And it's like, you can't always do that. And it makes it difficult for people. And even like DeSantis, I mean, this is a really good example. If that is the case, which we don't know, but if that is the case and someone is throwing a bunch of money at him saying, if you don't do it, we're not giving you any more money, I'd do the same thing if I were in his shoes. It's not the smart move, but it's the only move that you might have.
Well, I'm not sure it isn't long term. He's got to think about his family and his so on. I saw some release yesterday and it's from data that's readily available of presidents, the last 10 or whatever, who went into office, what their personal value was, their wealth was, and then what it was when they left.
Yeah, I saw that.
Holy cow. Yeah. And again, not surprising to me. We've talked about it. But you know what I'd really rather see? I'd rather see it in the Congress. Yeah. I'd like to know what they started with. Because, some of those people in Congress, it's not a 4-year gig or an 8-year gig. Right. They've been there for 50 years.
Yeah.
And what I want to know is and if I wanted to know really,
I could look it up. There are people that have done it. They've already done it.
Sure have.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Mostly looking at their stock. There's actually a company out there that will share with you the stock moves of people in Congress.
Yeah. Yeah. And what that has meant.
Stock portfolios.
Financially.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, no, but it is that. And it's what's even, this is the part that pisses me off, because it's rules that are different for people in Congress than they are for the average American.
Yep.
And so they will go in and it's not even what their value is, what their stock portfolio is worth. It's what moves they've made to make that happen. Like prior to major things that they knew about, likely because they're in Congress. Right. And they make these changes and they go, oh no, that was just coincidence. Was it?
Yeah,
was
exactly.
it coincidence?
Yeah.
It's just the lying that they constantly engage in, and we pay for it. And it's the government is going to take care of you. The government has no money. The government has nothing of its own.
Yeah, they have plenty of money. That's our money.
It's ours. It's not theirs. They have no money. They have lots of debt.
Yeah,
but they don't have any money. It's oh my gosh. So yes, you know how frustrated and riled up I get about that crap. But
I can tell.
But it becomes that. Oh yeah, like you're surprised. You're going, who is
I'm
this
so
John?
surprised. This is amazing. I have never heard you. I've never heard you talk about this before.
It's so stupid, but it just is never ending. And the one thing about that I wanted to finish on was about Liz Cheney, who's a big friend of Donald Trump's. I don't know if you knew that.
Did not know that, but okay.
Because it's a lie. The whole January 6th thing, the Jan 6th, her being on the committee was, oh my gosh. Anyway, she said to somebody that the world would be on fire. The whole world would be on fire if Trump gets reelected. Because right now, everything's fine in the
Everything's
world.
Fine. She needs a dumpster fire cup.
Oh, Mike, she does. She probably already has one.
Probably.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, she needs the dill. What was the dill one again?
You think I'm a big dill or something like that. Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
I'm kind of a big deal. That's what it is. I'm kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah, there is no question she is a big deal, in my humble opinion. And if you feel differently, please feel free to let us know in any of our social media channels.
Any of them. All of them.
Which, I mean, they're everywhere.
They are everywhere. And you can get there by going up to PoddiMouths.com, where you can also go to our new merch store and buy a whole bunch of merch, including some really nice one-piece bathing suits.
Well, and Mike Tyson and I will be back again next week.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. But they are nice. I haven't tried on the one-piece suits. I know. Looking forward to it.
Have you gotten yours, by the way?
Well, it's under the tree. But
No, I meant, have you gotten your, because you ordered some.
I did. I got my T-shirt. I was just going to say I got the red. It's like a reddish.
Yeah, same one I got probably.
Shirt. Well, we like to dress alike.
I know.
With the PoddiMouths logo, and I got to tell you, not only does it look pretty cool, it fits really well. I have a hard time with some T-shirts. Yep. These are sized really well. So
yes, they are.
If you've said, you know what, I don't know what to do with my friend or family member that I just don't know how to buy for them because they're the toughest one. PoddiMouths.com.
PoddiMouths merch.
Go to the merch store. I'm telling you, it's not only the thing, but I got a cool hat too.
Yeah, which I'm surprised you're not wearing.
I am too. I'm not sure where it is. But
it's so cool. He lost it. Or you know what? No, here it is. Here it is. It was so cool. Someone stole it. Yep.
Damn it.
You just have to order another one.
I have to watch that stuff more carefully. Yes, but that is a great gift for somebody who is tough to buy for sure. So check out,
like me.
Check out the merch
I'm very
store.
tough to buy for.
You are but you not that tough to buy for.
You know what you often give? Well, that's
coffee.
We do have coffee cups up there too.
I know.
If you really want to get John and I something for Christmas, buy a whole bunch of merch. That'll definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
We want stacks of cash under the
stacks
Christmas
of cash. That's right. We just make it rain. Make it rain.
Wow.
Yeah. I did that. I went there.
Wow.
I did it.
You did. I'm not sure. That is a meme we need to create. Is you come to the PoddiMouths store and making it rain with need to do that with like Monopoly.
I'll get right on that.
Please do.
Someone who's better at Photoshop than I am. I could probably just use AI. Who knows?
You're very good at Photoshop, and
not anymore. I'm out of practice, just like my golf game.
Well, you need to start doing more memes then.
I should work on that. Yeah. Anyway, folks, we hope you have another great week. Hopefully, we won't have to do another PoddiMouths classes like we did last week. Which it's okay. They're really good episodes, anyways. But we'll do our best to finish out the year strong. But come back here next week and check us out and see if we've got another new episode waiting for you. Hopefully it won't be as fired up as John was.
Maybe a little fired up.
Just a little fired up. Maybe it'll be by a campfire. That's a different type of fired up altogether.
It might be.
All right, John, great to see you. And we'll see you again very, very soon.
Good to see you, Nick. Merry Christmas, everybody.